We'll start off on a rather sad note. 3 persons have been burnt to death in an accident at ANLOGA Junction in Kumasi Thursday evening. They were occupants of a tricycle popularly known as the Pragya. Eyewitnesses say the motorcycle, which was crossing the intersection from the airport road, got knocked and dragged by a trailer which had failed brakes from the Oforikrom end of the Kumasi-Accra highway. The motorcycle with its occupants were still burning when our news team got to the scene late last night. Other firms, Erastus Asaridonko was there. He joins us. A really sad scene it must have been, Erastus. Tell us what the mood was when you were witnessing this last night.
It was very emotional. It was graphic to see people, human beings, burning inside a Pragya motorcycle. It was mind-blowing. It's something I've never witnessed before, and so it sent shocks down the spine of many who had gathered there. And you saw that woman who was wailing. She doesn't have any family member in that accident, but the sight of people burning in that tricycle got her so emotional. People were wailing here and there.
Erastus, usually in incidents like this, we know that even though we've been cautioned not to do that, people try to save persons who may be trapped in the vehicle. Was that the scenario here? Were they trying to save the persons who were trapped?
Unfortunately, I don't know why, but this one, nobody even ventured to try to even quench the fire. You could see a number of people, thousands of them, gathered around the burning tricycle, and nobody even ventured to try to even pour water on it, and until the fire service personnel came around. And so when we got to the scene, they had been burning for like 15 minutes, and we stood there for like 10 minutes before the fire service personnel came around. So in all, they could have been burning for like 30 minutes inside while people watched. Maybe it's because of the nature of the fire. It was so blazing that nobody wanted to get close, or they didn't know how, and they felt that the people were burnt already, so there was no need even trying to help them or in any way.
Erastus, tell us what eyewitnesses shared with you on what led to the accident.
So this trailer vehicle loaded, I don't know what is loaded with because it was covered. It has the inscription AB Zico Limited. And
hello, Erastus. We seem to have lost Erastus there. We'll try and work the lines, but he's just been sharing with us what he witnessed late last night in that incident at ANLOGA Junction. We have him back. Erastus, so you were telling us what eyewitnesses shared with you.
Yes, so this trailer vehicle loaded with something was coming in from the top of the hill from Oforikrom end towards the ANLOGA Junction. I'm told that it lost brakes, and so it was descending at top speed. The Pragya tricycle was coming in from the airport roundabout road end, trying to cross the intersection towards the new road. And so it knocked the tricycle, knocked another, vehicle, and then it dragged the tricycle on the ground for about 10 meters to in front of the Total fuel station. And so whilst in the course of dragging it, the metal that was scratching the ground ignited fire and got the motorcycle burning with the people inside it. I'm told this woman is pregnant. We are yet to confirm that, but we also told that she was traveling with the son, and so she, together with the son and the motorcycle rider, got burnt whilst we were there.
Erastus, let's talk about this particular stretch of road. I've used it a couple of times. That particular intersection is a very busy one because it links the airport road and the new Santasi road, and then, like you mentioned, the highway from Oforikrom right going towards Edum. That particular stretch, just at that intersection, there's a problem with the road. Tell us about it.
We have raised it many times. There is a problem there. In fact, when you look at from Oforikrum headed towards the junction area, you could see that it's a steep hill descending towards the intersection. And all the heavy-duty vehicles, they negotiate that curve of the traffic towards the new road. Sometimes they are not able to really control the vehicle that on that particular stretch, with long, heavy-duty vehicles trying to negotiate that curve onto the new road and then crashing into people there. But surprisingly, you find people still trading at that intersection when they've been told it's a very dangerous area. Nobody should trade there. You still find people trading there.
That's Erastus Asaredonko, my colleague from Love FM, who is telling us about this intersection and how this is not the first time an incident like this has occurred. We are told that the trailer that crashed into the motorcycle had failed its brakes, and so its brakes had failed, and so that's what led to the crash. But he'll be sharing more with us. Like you just heard him saying, that's not the first time we've reported an incident like this there. I remember some time ago, there was an incident of a beggar who was run over by a vehicle. So quickly, Erastus, if you can hear me, let's just wrap up this conversation talking about the nature of the road there and the fact that this is not the first time a trailer has lost its brakes there.
Yeah, exactly. And I must say that the first one, currently we have traders who have lost limbs through accidents at that particular intersection. The last one I covered, one person died, one woman lost one of the legs in that encounter. And so I must say it's a very dangerous area. I don't know what authorities can do because it's an intersection, it's a steep hill, and vehicles need to take precaution. Again, the motorcycle riders also flout traffic regulations at that point. Some of them do not even observe the red traffic light on that stretch. They just run through. And I have seen motorcycles that have been knocked down by oncoming vehicles because they tried to cross on red light. So I think that the authorities can fashion strategies to ensure that we minimize the impact if something like that happens.
Erastus, that part of the road also is quite undulating and there are potholes there. Has that been fixed?
Yes, they've been able to asphalt that portion. And so currently, I must say, it's a smooth road at the moment. And it doesn't pose a danger like it used to previously. However, on the intersection, getting on the curve towards the new road, a big pothole has been developing for the past 2 weeks. That one has not been sealed and is developing. So in the coming days, if it's not fixed, definitely it's going to get bigger, and it's possible that it's going to create problems there.
I appreciate your time. That's Erastus Asaredonko, my colleague from Love FM there, sharing details of that incident he witnessed last night. Away from the Ashanti region, 3 policemen have been severely assaulted by some residents of Paumufuo, a community in the northern region. The men had gone there Thursday evening to arrest a suspect, but residents allegedly disarmed them, beat them until their uniforms were soaked with blood. Let's get on the phone lines now, speak to Northern Region Crime Officer Superintendent Bernard Baba Ananga. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining the program. Can you narrate to us exactly what happened when your men went to that community?
Thank you very much. What actually happened was that there was a complaint of theft by one complainant who came to district police and alleged that a suspect entered his corn mill shop and stole the machine. So policemen were detailed to effect the arrest. He led the policemen to Fu, which is the surrounding village within Tamale. So they succeeded in effecting the arrest. However, they were pounced upon by the villagers and rescued the suspect. Along the line, not only that, they attacked them, beat them up with sticks, cutlasses, and others. They sustained injuries, and one of them managed to escape and call for police assistance. So a reinforcement from the CTU proceeded to the village and rescued them, and also went thereafter arrest some suspects. As we speak, we are processing them for court.
Okay, I'll just like to tell our viewers that those pictures are showing are quite graphic, and your discretion is advised. But let me come back to you, Superintendent Baba Ananga. How are your men faring? How are they doing? We are seeing the videos, and it appears that some of them...
Can you hear me? I'm not getting you properly.
I'm saying that how are your men doing? We can see from the videos that some of them sustained some severe injuries.
Yes, one was treated and later on discharged. One is still on admission at the hospital. We visited them, and they're responding to treatment, the two of them.
Can you describe to us the nature of injuries?
One sustained cutlass wounds to the forehead, and other one also sustained cutlass wounds to the head as well. So far, they are doing well as we speak.
And so the men you say you've picked, how many again? How many of them have been picked and arraigned? 15, is that what you said?
We arrested about 26, and after investigations, we have about 15 at hand to be taken to court.
All right. We appreciate your time this morning. That's Crime Officer of the Northern Region, Superintendent Baba Ananga, telling us what happened when 3 police officers went to effect an arrest in a community in the Northern Region when residents allegedly attacked, inflicted machete wounds on them and disarming them. Let's stay a while on farming stories. The CPP's running mate is pushing for right investment in cassava cultivation. He says with the right investment, Ghana can earn more money from cassava than the revenue raked in by cocoa. Well, Professor Emmanuel Bobobi is an agricultural engineer and running mate of the Convention People's Party. Cocoa generates $2 billion annually, but cassava is projected to rake in more than double that amount with less investment. Professor Bobobi says the use of modern agriculture methods is key in realizing that potential. He's innovated a cassava harvester to reduce drudgery in cassava cultivation. And Ayojima spent time on his farm and filed this report.
My name is Professor Emmanuel Bobobi. I'm an agricultural engineer, in fact, the rank of associate professor, and I'm the vice presidential running mate for the CPP in the 2020 December election. I've been actually a lecturer in this university since 1998, and my research interest or focus has been in agricultural mechanization. You know, I'm taking you to my research field, research farm, where over the years I've been developing or demonstrating mechanized way of planting and cultivating cassava up to harvesting. So you go there and then you see how cassava must be planted in the modern way. In fact, the demonstration plot is to actually come out with the correct protocol of cassava cultivation so that it will be enjoyable and attractive, especially to the youth, to take as a full-time business. This is the way to the farm. We are going to see is 10 acres or 4 hectares, which I'll be using to do demonstration of mechanized cassava production and also to use as an outdoor laboratory to teach students.
Sasa
Akomo, Brekuomo, Akomo, Brekuomo, Sasa Brekuo.
See, this is damage. I need help.
This is me trying to finish what the prof couldn't finish, and even though I've tried excavating part of the sand, still difficult. You know, you have to be very careful when excavating the sand. You might end up damaging the cassava itself. Already. It's coming! Ah! Finally.
Look at all that. Yeah, you can see what Yahoo has done. Well, I mean, he has to come to my aid. But look, he has damaged virtually everything is broken. And cassava starts deteriorating after 24 hours, after a day of harvesting. So if we don't go and process it, now this is manual. But if we were to, this were to mature and then we use the mechanical one, you see that no damage. So that one also gives the farmer some breathing space to be able to gather and then take it to the processing center. I've actually sold some to South Africa, and then Nigeria, and then Jamaica, and I've got actually orders from New Zealand and then the Fiji Islands. Yeah, but there are interests in other African countries also.
How much more?
This one costs 5,000 cedis, $5,000 only. In fact, this is for life. In fact, the whole thing you are seeing now, in fact, it is for life. It will not spoil in anybody's lifetime. The only thing that will change is the blade, which I have actually formulated for my PhD work, and it is reversible. So when one side is worn, you reverse it, and then it will do double the area. That's the only spare part. Otherwise, this is for life. And you know, when you use it to harvest, it goes deeper than plowing. So it is like you have plowed. In fact, during the harvesting time, if you come and see it, when you harvest, the field is plowed. So you save time and energy and money on plowing. So it's a double operation. Then after that, you just ridge or harrow, and then you ridge and plant. So it is actually a very, very tropicalized innovation. It has been designed and developed like this from the German version to this one to actually be useful to the African farmer. Because I'm a son of a farmer, and then I know what goes into it. So it has been developed like this with the African farmer in mind. And apart from cassava, it harvests yam also easily. But it must also be planted in rows on ridges, and even if it is mound, the mound must also be in line so that the tractor can pass through. Then it can harvest sweet potato. It can harvest sweet potato, it can harvest Irish potato, and then it can harvest cocoyam. We produce about 19 million tons of cassava. 19 million tons. But we can get to, Nigeria produces about 54 to 56 million tons. Globally, the whole visit is about 256 million tons. So this one is just forming. It's now, we call it bulking. Cassava developed as a root. Then after the roots have developed, then it starts filling. When it starts filling,
that's another farmer telling us more about what he does, and we say thank you to all our farmers out there. We really appreciate your work and efforts. Let's head to Techiman now, because that's where our farmers will be celebrated today. We're expecting the president to arrive in the Bono region shortly, but my colleague Anas Abed joins us with more on what to expect. Hello, Anas.
Benny, this is Nanayao Juma.
Oh, Nanayao, great to have you. So Anas and Nanayao Juma are on this beat for us. Nanayao, tell us what's happening in Techiman.
Okay, so presently the stage is set. The place is ready. Farmers have taken their positions. And all dignitaries who are supposed to be here have arrived, awaiting the arrival of the president, who we hear is coming from Kumasi. So in a few minutes, we understand that the president will be in and the event will commence So the prizes for all the award winners are already here. Farmers and other exhibitors have also taken their position, exhibiting what they have for us. And also, there have been some talks in various exhibition points about food security and how we can improve agriculture in this country. So here at Techiman, the people are ready, especially awaiting the president for the commencement of celebration of farmers in this country.
But you've been speaking to some of them earlier on the AM show. What did they share with you?
So most of the farmers are happy with some of the government interventions to improve upon agriculture in this country. But they believe more can be done so that the plight of farmers will be further reduced. So, for instance, programs like Planting for Food and Jobs, one village, one dam, and others that are supposed to improve the livelihood of these farmers are what they are advocating. And they believe that every government, the various political parties that are fighting for their votes have also very good plans to enhance agriculture. And they are also expecting them, when they are voted into power, to also look at implementing the policies that they came up with in their manifestos. So farmers are happy about the event and also what government will do to further reduce their plight.
Nanaya, we'll leave it here, but we'll bring updates on the president's address when he arrives in Techiman for that function to commemorate Farmers Day. Away from that, it is one of the Upper West's leading tourist attractions. The rock with a shape like an umbrella in the small town of Babile. Despite its potential, it's not on the list of Ghana's popular tourist destinations yet. JoyNews' Justice Bedo has been to the community located in Rapa to explore the story behind this rock.
On the outskirts of the Babile township lies a long stretch of rocks. For many of the people born in this small town, like 72-year-old Clement Doma, these sacred rocks are their identity.
We migrated from some areas before we came. When we were born, we came and met the rocks.
It is a town founded on art and in the middle of the slave trade era. The rocks cover an area of about 200 square meters. The overhang on the top is large enough to cover about 10 people at once and provide shade from rain and sunshine. Even though the pivot on which the top rock lies might seem very small, it looks really strong.
To the beginning, during the time of our grandfathers, this place was a hiding place for people, particularly during the slavery time. So some people have to come to hide here for shelter. There were some animals, hyenas, elephants, or what used to be here.
Like many of Ghana's tourism potential sites, this one is undeveloped. The road leading to it is untarred and dusty. The people here want something done about that.
You people have just come to see, to observe, to see the rocks. So people travel in and out. You come to see the rocks. We are thinking that some NGO could come to help to fence the area.
So next time that you think of making a trip to the Upper West region, put the Babile Umbrella Rock on your bucket list of places to see. Justice Bedu, JoyNews, Babile.
And in our studios here in Accra, I'm Bernice Abubedu Lansa. This is News Desk live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 144, and around the world at myjoyonline.com. Please don't go away yet. I've got some tech news for you, and we'll do business shortly after that. Thank you for staying here on News Desk, and Kobe is here. You know I'm always excited when he comes around. Let's talk technology.
Yep.
WhatsApp has a new update. Tell us about it.
So you know how you send a message to someone sometimes and you don't want that message to be read by other people. Unfortunately, you get into trouble later because somebody read that message. I know maybe you haven't experienced that, but some of our viewers and listeners have experienced this before.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you
I know what you're talking about.
And then, but guess what? WhatsApp is introducing a new feature, which is ephemeral messaging. So users of Snapchat and Telegram are probably used to this, where you can send a message and after a period, the message disappears. Okay. So WhatsApp is introducing this feature that allows messages to disappear after 7 days on your phone. So
7 days?
Yeah, after 7 days.
That's too long. For those who don't want, okay, so here's what it is. We have a delete button.
Yes.
A delete option. I send you a message, I can delete for both of us. Doesn't this make it
But then it shows that a message was deleted and then someone's going to ask you, what did you delete?
You're right. You're right. So this just goes away, and then nobody can tell that you've deleted the message. And for those of you who want to
keep your traces clear, use Telegram. That does a better job. You can set a timer. Okay.
But 7 days is too long, if you ask me.
It is too long. It is too long.
Maybe they'll review it, but that's a solution for those of you who are worried that other people will see the messages you've been sending to your friends and colleagues. Yep.
So next in tech news, about $1 billion worth of Bitcoin has been seized by the Department of Justice in the United States. That's about 70,000 Bitcoin. That's a whole lot of money.
Why have they seized this?
You know, there was a part of the internet on the dark web called Silk Road. Now that's where a lot of illegal transactions were going on, drugs and, ammunitions and stuff were being sold. And, on the dark web, that's how they transact business with Bitcoin. Exactly. And so cryptocurrency watchers noticed that about 70,000 Bitcoin had just disappeared. Like it just moved. And that's a huge amount for nobody to not notice. So yeah, it was noticed and then they found out. And guess what? Department of Justice came out and said, it was us. We took it. We have seized it. So yeah, the criminals who were thinking that they could go steal that money later on, I'm sorry, but it's been taken by law enforcers. And now, yes, they are going to find better use for that money.
See why I don't trust all this cryptocurrency business. I know someone was really trying to convince me at the time Bitcoin was, at its peak, let me say it that way. And I said, no, I don't feel safe about this whole cryptocurrency. But let's quickly wrap up on our last story.
So those who are looking to buy the new iPhone 12 should know that if you damage your screen or your camera, you'd have to take it to Apple to repair it. Because what Apple has done is that a third party cannot repair it. And we watched a video where a user bought 2 iPhone 12s, swapped the screens on them, and it wouldn't work. The same device, just different colors, but it's the same iPhone 12. Swap the screen from one, move the other screen to the other, it didn't work. Swap the cameras, it didn't work.
I'm excited and I'm not excited. I'm excited because those who steal phones will no longer be able to go to Circle and do what they do with the phones. But I'm also not excited because it's more expensive if you take it back to Apple to get it fixed.
Because it costs almost about $500 to replace just the screen or the camera.
Okay, on that monetary note, we end this edition of Tech News here on News Desk. But coming up shortly in business, government secures 155 million euros from the China Exim Bank to expand access to telephony in rural communities.
Good morning to you. Time for some business news. My name is Darryl Kwao. Government has secured 155 million euros from the China Exim Bank to expand access to telephony in rural communities. President Akufo-Addo is positive. Bridging the ICT access gap will enhance trade and commerce in such communities. He was launching the rural telephony project at New Edubiase. Prince Pierre has more.
Achinibuana is one of the smallest farming communities in the Adanse South district of the Shanti region. For years, residents have struggled to access telephone connectivity.
Well, first of all, I think in the first place, now we're suffering from getting access to other people. Maybe when it comes in terms of maybe sending money or receiving something from others, unless you go to some high place before that you get the network.
With this project, I would say it's very, very good. It's going to help the whole community. At first, getting network where you are was a problem. So getting this, I think, is going to help we, the youths, those who want to enter into ICT and other things. It's going to help us a lot. So
the launch of the rural telephony project in the new Edubiasi area has changed the narrative. The initiative seeks to provide telephone connectivity to underserved communities. President Akufo-Addo says the expansion will enhance trade and commerce between rural and urban communities.
These sites will provide network coverage to over 300,000 communities and provide an opportunity for over 3 million people to connect with their relatives and friends, enabling these communities to be accessible. Government has secured a 155 million euro facility from the China Exim Bank to finance this telephony extension project. The project will inject new impetus into the development of ICT in rural areas and provide them access to e-government services.
The initiative is a cross-sectorial partnership involving Huawei, the Chinese government, Ghana Investment Fund and Electronic Communication GIFIC, and telecommunication companies. Communications Minister Ursula Owusu-Ekufo says the government targets to provide 1,000 sites by December 2021.
Since we took office in 2017, we have built more than 500 sites in 3 years. And it is this shift in focus that has made this possible.
Now, exhibitors at the 2020 National Farmers Day Fair have expressed satisfaction with the conduct of this year's event being held in the Techiman municipality. They're calling on government and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture to consider organizing similar fairs either quarterly or at least twice a year. Anas Abed reports from the Bono East region.
The 36th National Farmers Day celebrations is here at last, and as part of a series of activities in preparation towards the Grand Deba, which is going to be held on Friday here in Techiman. The exhibition fair is currently in place. This afternoon we are here to engage the various exhibitors on their impression about this particular fair so far.
Agricare is located in Kumasi at Tanoso. We are into feed production. Talk about the fair. I think it has been very helpful because it has given us the opportunity to partner with strategic agents in the industry, and we have been able to strike strategic partnership with them that we believe that will go a long way to help all of us as major stakeholders in the industry.
It has really been helpful to us because, you know, many people didn't know our product. But when we came here, we have sampled about 10,000 people already. And I think this is the third day of the exhibition. And at least we've made some sales too.
This year, 2020, has not been easy for everybody. And I believe this is a very good opportunity to connect people back together. We still have tomorrow and the day after tomorrow to meet more farmers. The number of visitors is increasing by day. We still expect more farmers to come. So we at Interplast, we are so happy to be part of this event.
These exhibitors tells me they are very excited and impressed with the situation on the ground, and for them, government needs to work together with the Ministry of Food and Agriculture to ensure that such exhibition fairs are done either quarterly or twice each year.
We suggest that
All right, and that's it for business. The news continues after this break.
Thank you for staying here on News Desk. Later today, we are going to be launching the 2020 JoyNews EcoBank Habitat Fair, and it's on the theme affordable housing beyond the rhetoric. As you can see, everything is set. We'll be taking you live to the Accra International Conference Center. I beg your pardon, we've actually launched the program. The fair proper starts today, and so do join us from today through till the 8th of this month at the Accra International Conference Center for all your housing needs. We've got all the exhibitors, we've got the finance bit of owning a house as well being taken care of by our main sponsors, EcoBank, who help you with all the information you need on how to finance a home or own a home. Do stay with us here on the JoyNews channel for more on that later, but it's goodbye from me and my team. We wish you all the very best for the weekend. Do stay with us here on your most credible news source. Don't forget, there's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com, and we are very interactive on Facebook and Twitter. We are JoyNews on TV. I'm Dennis Applebeidunansa. See you, God willing, on Monday.